Owl, class action lawsuit, class action lawsuit. Mask. Good morning. Good morning. TikTok. Good morning. Traveling Trade Adventures on YouTube. Let's go back and look at QIPT. QIPT. Not going to go much higher here. It might go a penny or two more, but I wouldn't look to make any trades on that. I think the only people that are going to make any good money on that are the ones that were already in it when that news came out. Be my guess. But you guys might surprise me. All right, let's take a look at RADX again. No, nothing yet. Good morning. Kathy, good morning over there in Traveling Trade Adventures, and good morning, Sheila, as well. Good morning to everybody on TikTok. It's not been a terrible morning so far. We've had a couple of good trades. Been pretty good. Not bad. Mask, MASK. They had a nice little pop up here on a press release. It was up about 120% or so, give or take. Went from about 30 cents to 79 cents. So well over 100%. It's pulled back quite a bit. It's only up, oh my gosh. It's only up about 69% right now. But it was up way higher than that a little bit ago. RADX was the big one for this morning. Vicki, good morning. David, good morning. Good morning. Glad to have everybody along with us. We are live right now on TikTok and Zoom, of course. We're always live on Zoom in the mornings, and also on YouTube on Traveling Trade Adventures. And we're going to continue the fun over on Traveling Trade Adventures when we're done here on TikTok. So we hope you can join us over there on YouTube for a little bit. RADX pushing back up. RADX was our big one this morning. My goodness, did you guys catch that this morning? I hope you did. RADX, beautiful, beautiful run up this morning. Excuse me. Let me get some details here. RADX ran up this morning from about $4.29 to $26.98. From $4 to $26.98 this morning. And it did it in about 14 minutes. 14 minutes. That was insane. That was just, can't tell you how nice it is to have one of those first thing in the morning on a Monday morning. That was incredible. All right, so Mask is maybe trying to curl back up. We'll keep an eye on that one. TSLA announces withdrawal proposal public offering. Now, TLSA just announced withdrawal of a proposed public offering. So, might be worthy of taking a look at that. Let's pop it up. TLSA. Not moving at all. Okay. So anyway, TLSA press release just came out a little bit ago. So anywho, HURA. Tahura Biosciences announces its release of Kintara's contingent value right as Kintara's REM01 meets primary safety endpoint, achieving contractual milestone. HURA. HURA. Well, good morning. Good to have you with us. We've got about 8 minutes until the 8 o'clock press releases pop up here. We're going to do the 8 o'clock press releases here with you on TikTok. And then we're going to switch over and go over to YouTube. So we'd love to have you join us over there on YouTube, on our channel over there, Traveling Trade Adventures. We'd love to have you pop over and get those 8:30 press releases over there. Now, mask looks like it's trying to curl back up. We're back up to 56.5. We'll see if it keeps going. Quipt mask is back up. It's up 80, back up to 91%. It was over 120 this morning, so this might turn out to be a good dip buy opportunity here from 46 cents, maybe back up into the 80s. Might be able to pull another 100% off of this one. Jimbo, good morning. Yeah, everybody, I don't know that everybody made money on that one, but there was a lot of us that did. There was a lot of good money made on RADX this morning in a very short amount of time. Those are always good when you get in quick on a press release and they run that insane. And they do it in such a short time, you don't even really think about jumping out because it's moving so fast up, and you make really good return on investment on those for sure. Evero, good morning. Yes, Kathy, it sure was. That was a great money maker. It sure was. Mask, Chili got it from 50 to 56. Good quick little trade there. Nothing wrong with that one. Good morning, TikTok. It feels like it's been forever since I've been on TikTok. I don't know why. I guess probably because I haven't posted any videos or anything for quite some time. And it just feels like I've been away from it for a while. I've got so much going on. And I need to get refocused. I need to get refocused again on posting videos. You gotta get rid of that. I've got some, see those spots right there? See those spots? I had to go to a dermatologist and had some sun damage that had to be taken off, and it's left it's left a couple of ouchies there, but got one right under my eye too, but necessary to get it done. Yeah, it was beautiful, Kathy. That thing ran insane. 26, it wasn't it 26.98 from in the $4 range. That's just insane. In 15 minutes. Couldn't beat it. That was just people were posting their profits on our Zoom meeting this morning, and it was so exciting to see everybody posting such incredible gains on that thing. That was really fun. Especially first thing on a Monday morning. It's always a great way to start your week off with a big one like that. But we're glad that you're here with us now. We've got about 4 minutes to go until we get the 8 o'clock press releases. Good morning. I hope everybody's staying warm this morning. It was 37. The feel like temperature in Central Florida this morning was 37. 37 for Florida. That's pretty chilly. The actual temperature right now is about 49. So it's starting to warm up a little bit, but the feel like temperature is still pretty chilly. The wind's blowing out there a little bit. It makes it feel pretty cold. But I know it's nothing like what you guys are getting up north. I know it's cold up there. Cold, cold. Minus the wind chill up there it's got to be in the minus somewhere. 9 degrees in Ohio. Wow. That is cold. 2 in Cincinnati. Oh my goodness. 24 in Auburn, Alabama. Gosh. Trapper says he thinks they hit -6 yesterday. Oh my gosh. Vicki, 5 degrees up there where you're at. Wow. 5 degrees. What's the temperature everybody's got? You guys have got to have some cold temperature. -18 in Chicago. Oh my gosh. 22 in Atlanta. -18. Can anybody beat that? Holy mackerel. 15 in Memphis. Ahmad's got 15 degrees in Memphis. Wow. Hushmu, can you believe it? -18. That is just insane. Is that the wind chill? The -18? That's got to be wind chill. Joey says he lives in South Texas for a reason. Yeah, the wind chill is -18. That's crazy. Crazy cold. I get shivers just thinking about that. I moved down to Palm Beach Gardens, 70 degrees. Hushboo, that is not fair because I'm in Florida and it's only 49. 31 in Beaumont, Texas. Wow. -2 in Indianapolis. Oh my gosh, Daniel, that's cold. Oh, I hope you don't work outside, Daniel. Oh my gosh. I guess that is the positive thing. No mosquitoes, right? Oh, no mosquitoes. Gosh. -1 in Indianapolis. Gosh. I lived up north in Indiana, up by close to the Michigan border, up there in RV country, little town called Napanee, just south of Elkhart a little bit, kind of in between Fort Wayne and South Bend, but more closer to South Bend. But up in that RV area, Elkhart County. And I remember those cold, yeah, Amish country. Yeah, it is Amish country up there. And boy, I can remember those cold winters. I moved down to Florida to get away from that. And then I get down here and the wintertime hits and it's 37 degrees. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Now it's supposed to be 70 or 80 degrees here. Ugh. 14 in Troy, Missouri. Feels like 4. Oh, Gary. 11 in North Carolina. AMCI. Let's take a look at AMCI CI. Here's the 8 o'clock stuff. AMCI. Okay, 8 o'clock. CAPS reaffirms $100 million price target. Runs path by EBITDA. Bill's first benchmark exposing high IMS Christian worldwide values. GIBO. GIBO announces strategic collaboration with eTotal Technology to accelerate deployment of AI compute centers. Updated S4. Joby. REECIS, Treasure Global. CISS announces closing of a $9 million public offering. STAI provides an update on their NASDAQ compliance progress and their listing status. VOR announces a $150 million private placement. VOR, $150 million private placement. FBLG announcing a $1.7 million registered direct offering. So that's probably not going to bode too well for that stock. FBIO, Fortress Biotech and Cyperium Therapeutics announced FDA acceptance of their new drug application resubmission. MNTS, not good news. MNTS announced cancellation of their 2025 special meeting of stockholders. They canceled the meeting. So it's taken a hit. It's down 21%. IPT doesn't look like 8 o'clock gave us what we were looking for. Let's take a look at VOR again. VOR. VOR. This is the $150 million private placement on VOR. Don't know if you looked at it or not. It's up about 5% on that. It dipped really quick when the news came out. It dipped down to 12.13 and then bumped back up again to 13.47. It's sitting right around 13.30 on 35 on the ask right now. We'll see if that one pops any higher. That should push that up quite a bit. $150 million private placement. $13.89 now. We just smacked $13.89. The one and only Vicky. Happy Monday. Rockin' Johnny, 7 in Pittsburgh. Ooh, oh my. VOR just got hit with volume. VOR, 13.89. Let's see if it's got anything else in it. Joby, FBIO, not moving. So far, Ooh, IRBT. Remember that one? iRobot files for bankruptcy. Oh, no, 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 no. iRobot. Remember we played iRobot last week? A ton. That one has always been a really good moneymaker for day trading. Roomba maker, iRobot, files for bankruptcy amid their China competition. Wow. Did not expect that. JC, yes, go Panthers. Go Panthers. Oh my gosh. Well, let me go take a look at that. IRBT. How bad's this getting beat up here? Oh my. Well, it's getting a little bit of a bankruptcy bounce. But it's going to come down. I have to assume that may drop even lower. Wasn't expecting that. iRobot has always been a good mover, but competition, I guess. Didn't expect that. Company will continue its operations during the bankruptcy proceedings, while a Chinese manufacturer that handles its production is set to acquire all of its shares to rebuild iRobot's business. The process is expected to be completed by February of 2026. You guys spot any mistakes that iRobot might have made there? Anything stand out? Atos, ATOS, presents 4 clinical trial updates at the San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium, and it's down 11.5%. ADPT. For all you military people, that's Alpha, Delta, Papa, Tango. ADPT. Adaptive Biotechnologies announces 2 immune receptor licensing agreements with Pfizer. Fill drilling, update ODBP, KYTX. Wow. Big news there. Mask. What are we doing with Mask here? Mask has got that. These candles are going crazy from this 8 o'clock mess. Don't let the candles fool you. If you see one of your stocks that you're watching, you see the candles spiking up really high, like insanely high or low, and bouncing back and going up and going down. Don't pay any attention to it. It's just noise. Don't pay any attention to it. Look at the ask price. Look at the bid price. That's where it's at. Don't let those candles throw you off. All right. So anyway, iRobot, the Chinese company that does their manufacturing for them, I'm going to say mistake number 1, is going to buy out all their stuff. They're going to buy them out completely once they file bankruptcy, and they're going to take over from there. So they're already being made in China, and they'll continue to be made in China just like they always have been. But they won't be owned by iRobot Corporation anymore. Yeah, they make the Roomba. You guys heard of the Roomba before? That's what iRobot makes, is a Roomba. And okay. Well, I suspect iRobot will come down some. I think there'll be some folks expecting a dead cat bounce there if it drops too much. But I would suspect that it's going to come down under $1 at some point here on bankruptcy news. So anyway, that was that. Okay. Well, that was all the 8 o'clock stuff. Looks like out of all of that, boy, even VOR couldn't hold up on that private lane. Bounced really nice, but it just could not hold up. Let's go back and look at RADX. That was our big one this morning. That was a monster this morning. 1450. 1460. Boy, it's all over the place. It's all over the place. That was our biggest one this morning. It was RADX. Did anybody catch that this morning? Any of our YouTube family and our TikTok family? Any of you guys catch that one? Key West Club, good morning. Yeah, MNTS is getting beat down on that canceling of that meeting. Shareholders said, "Nuh-uh, not having any of that." No, nobody got any of it, huh? Nobody got a hold of that RADX. I thought for sure you guys would be on top of that one. All right, MNSO file 6K. MNSO. What do we got here? Foreign private issuer. Oh, gosh, nothing on the microfloat list either. GMGI. Yeah, they are doing a reverse split, a 1 for 17.85 reverse stock split. effective December 17th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And it'll begin trading on the post-split amount on December 18th. The stock split will put them at a 1.4 million public float, from 25 million to 1.4 million. So yeah, they're getting beat down a little bit. They're getting beat down a little bit. Let's see. HYPR, Hyperfine. HYPR, Hyperfine, announces FDA clearance of the first Optiv AI software update with advanced diffusion imaging capability focused on enhancing stroke detection with the Swoop system. HYPR. So it got a little bounce. It bounced from $1 to $1.15, pulled back to $1.06, and now it's back up again, where we've got the ask is back up to $1.14. So it's fluctuating a little bit. So if that's something that interests you, now would be a good time to look. HYPR. All right. Okay, well, we're gonna say goodbye here on TikTok and head over to YouTube. We're live on YouTube right now on Traveling Trade Adventures. That's the page you want to look for, Traveling Trade Adventures. Pop over there if you'd like to get those 8:30 press releases, and we'd love to have you over there. I promise you, we want you over there. Come on over and check us out over there. We're doing the same thing over there that we're doing right now, right here. So join us, please. And we will see all of you tomorrow morning again at 7:45 on TikTok. 7:45 right here on Wolfpack Community. So you guys pop on over. Traveling Trade Adventures. We'll see you over there in a few minutes. MNTS, Patricia. MNTS is doing the reverse split. And I'll give you this one before we leave. Jeff Brands, JFBR, Jeff Brands. Now it's down a little bit. They just put out a press release. I want to read it to you. Jeff Brands, KeepZone AI signs an exclusive distribution agreement, expanding their homeland security portfolio. So that's the news on Jeff Brands, JFBR. So not a big fan of that stock, but when it moves, it moves. It is a micro float stock, which means it has less than 1 million public float. So it can move. When it moves, it can move, but it always moves very short amount of time and then falls right back down to where it came from. Never forget that. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Join us over on YouTube, Traveling Trade Adventures. We'll see you there. God bless. I made 40 cents on TikTok this morning. Isn't that just something? Okay. $40 smackaronis. I hope the IRS doesn't find out about that. Stinky Pinky, good morning. Britt, good morning. Money, good morning. Good to see everybody pop over. Good to see our TikTok family popping over to visit with us over here on Traveling Trade Adventures. BNKK, what's going on there? BNKK, let's see what that's doing. What do we got going on here? BNKK. BNKK, 700% revenue run rate surge. Bonk Inc. reports explosive growth for Bonk.fun. BNKK. Got a quick pop on that news and then a quick pullback. But just want you to be aware that the news is out there on that one and what it was. Now it's going in the red right now. Let me read the news to you on it again. 700% revenue run rate surge. Bonk Inc. reports explosive growth. Preliminary data shows platform generated over $1.36 million in just 14 days. Daily revenue velocity accelerated rapidly month over month. BNKK. Whether that's going to amount to anything or not is to be seen. All right. We've got just a few more minutes and we'll get the 8:30 press releases. I hope you can stick around with us until those 8:30 press releases come out. We'd love to have you here with us. Any press releases that pop up between now and 8:30, we'll definitely throw them out there at you. Let's take a look at Hyper again, HYPR. Let's see what that one's doing. Pulled back. Looks like we went from $1 to $1.18 on that press release and then pulled back to $1.06. And now we're back hitting $1.11. So it is trying to push back up some. So that's what this one here on the left, if you're on Zoom with us on the left, this is the Hyper. This is the FDA clearance of the first Optiv AI software update. We'll see if that goes anywhere. Mask not going anywhere. Leans, good morning. Good to have you with us. Little pre-market action here. Hopefully we get a decent one here at 8:30. We get a nice press release. 7 o'clock blessed us just beautifully on Zoom with a beautiful press release. I don't know what percentage that one went up. What is the percentage on it? Somebody do the percentage for that for me, would you, real quick? Damon scalped RADX from 1440 to 1646. Beautifully done, Damon. Nicely done. Our Zoom folks are still popping in with us here and naming off some profits that they're taking on some of these stocks. That stock went from $4.29. The news came out and it ran to $26.98. $4.29 to $26.98. What is the percentage on that? What kind of a climb is that? Somebody do their math real quick. Let's see. Hyper, nothing there. SNBR, Sleep Number Corporation, filed an S8. Not moving. Where's all my brainiacs? Where's all my math people on YouTube? Get your calculator out. 4 to 24 would be 600%. Is that right? One of you slick mathematicians out there, figure that up for me. $4.29 to $26.98. Now, you guys are all stock people, so I know you know how to figure out percentages. It's a lot. Yep, it's definitely a lot. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button to Traveling Trade Adventures. I really appreciate that a lot. The channel is going to be a lot more active once we get on the road and start traveling full time. Get out of the home office here and get in the RV and start traveling. 644%. Steve, thank you. M. Devlin, thank you. 644%. How many runners do we get like that on a Monday morning? Gosh, isn't that great? When was the last time anybody got a 600% runner? It's been a few minutes since we got one of those. BNKK, Bonk, good old Bonk. Is it trying to push up or not? It looks like it's coming down. Now it's pushing back up. Let's see if it pushes back up again. It is trying. Thank you, Ted. Appreciate it a bunch. It has popped off that low down there. It was at 383 and now it's back to 414. So you're right. It is trying. 422 now. Somebody might have taken a good dip by there and picked up a nice little quick trade on that one. All right, we've got about 45 seconds. Hopefully you guys can stick around here and see what happens at 8:30 with the press releases. Fingers crossed, we're going to get a good one. And thank you for watching those videos and commenting on the videos on YouTube. I went to the Villages over the weekend for the very first time ever, and it was something. It was really a cool visit. I definitely will go back there again sometime just to get a lunch or a dinner or something, because it's really kind of a cool place. I highly recommend, if you're in Florida, be cool to visit there. All right. But thank you for watching the videos and commenting on the videos. I really appreciate that a lot. I love seeing people comment on the videos, and I love answering everybody's comments. It's a lot of fun for me. All right. 8:30 press releases. HSCS announces FDA 510 submission. HSCS 2 million public float. FTEL, FTEL, microfloat, unveils 2F Culinary AI, its first AI-driven personal robot chef for personalized meals. Interesting. That's on FTEL, FTEL. Very interesting. Let's see. 830, BTIN, class action lawsuit, new director, expressionless. EMPX, Korea Battery Alliance, AMPX expands their Korea Battery Alliance with 3 new contract manufacturers. HYFT reports record growth and announces strategic progress on its AI asset pipeline. HYFT. Reading through these press releases as quickly as I can here. Stub. ALBT. Museum completes sale of the minority stake in RPM Interactive for approximately $6.5 million in Avalon Global Care acquisition. That's on ALBT, but it's got a relatively decent amount of volume on it, but it's not moving really much at all. And it's got a 3.7 million public float, but again, not moving. RVSN. RailVision granted a key patent in Europe for advanced AI-based railway collision avoidance system. But it looks like revisiting all the 830 press releases. Take a look at KYTX. That was one of ours from this morning as well. Look at that bad boy pop. And Chili was right on top of it. KYTX 990 to 1250. Beautifully done. Oh my goodness, beautifully done. Beautifully done. We just hit 1284 on KYTX. This stock was down at $9 this morning. It spiked. It spiked up right at 7 o'clock. We had a press release out on this, and it spiked up right away to $11, and then it pulled back to about $9. And it's been kind of on a nice, slow, steady push up. And I was looking for 11 on it this morning from that 950 to 11, which it gave me. And now it just jumped to 1284. So nice push on that one. And it looks like Chile took advantage of that. Steve, 950 to 1255. You guys did a better trade on that one than I did. Wow. Steve, that was beautiful. You and Chile both. Great entries on that. IMG. Take a look. IMG announces new contract for computing power equipment for $106 million. Contract value. Take a look. It's a micro float. IMG. Go look at it real quick. Let's see where it's at. Let's see if it pulls back here. IMG. All right. We're at 232. It's a micro float. Wolfpack. 228. 361,000 public float according to scans. Now we just pulled back to 225. So we've got a little bit of a pullback going on here. It spiked up real quick. As soon as the news hit, boom, it was straight up. And now it's been floating in that 225, 226, 230, in that area for 2 minutes now. And we all know that it's a micro float. So let me reread the news for you just so you're aware. CIMG Inc. announces a new contract for computing power equipment sale with contract value of approximately $106.5 million. Now, if that doesn't get you excited on a micro float, I don't know what will. Now, we just popped to 269. Let's see if it's got anything in it. Let's see if that micro float works for us. Come on. Come on. Let me know how you guys do if you decide to take some of that on a quick little trade. Let me know how it goes for you. I'm curious. Well, Trapper got it. He took some from 232 to 275. That's a nice trade, isn't it? Damon got it from 232 to 275. Another good, solid trade. Now we've pulled back to 249, 248. Remember, this is a micro floater. Let's look on another source. Let's pull up another source here and see if we have a different float amount on that. Finley James, 232 to 275. Don, 235 to 259. Tim, 227 to 265. You've got a 7 million. Weeble's got 6 million. Okay. They just went through a reverse split. Am I wrong in saying that? They went through a reverse split on December 5th. Steve is absolutely correct on that. They went through a reverse split on December 5th. So they've got a small float here. Hollywood 230 to 252. Nicely done. Guys are taking advantage of those. All right, let's go back to the daily here. Get off the monthly chart. Let's go back to the daily. Okay, we've got a nice pullback here at 237. I would suspect that this one is going to be a good play today. Now, I'm being optimistic, of course, but a micro float, they've just gone through a reverse split. They've got a very small float, really small float, and they just got a $106 million contract. I think that's probably going to bump this up pretty nice today. I don't know how much, but it should do fairly well. We got 4 million on the volume so far. So if that float is correct, it has turned that thing over several times. Let me take a look at the short percentage here. Let's see what the short interest is. Has a short float of about 12%, 12.5%. That's pretty nice. Not bad. But I think we might see that one pop. All right, let's take a look at ALBT again. ALBT, what are you doing? Does it know where it wants to go? Avalon Global Care acquires RPM Interactive, a generative AI powered software company, in an all stock transaction. It's on ALBT. It's like this. It can't quite decide where it wants to go yet. Hasn't found its legs just yet. Wood power surges 6 months. LBT fashion show. AMTD, IMG. Let's go back and look at IMG and see where this one's going, what it's doing. Were you watching the dip? Ken, 230 to 275. Nicely done. I think those higher float amounts that we're seeing on Webull and other places, that was pre-split. I think since the split, that number has significantly dropped. IMG just popped again, 269. Let's get over 3. Let's push this thing up over $3. All right. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate that a bunch. And if you'll stick with us just a few more minutes, we might even throw the 9 o'clock press releases at you and see what comes out of that. Maybe we'll get another IMG here on a micro float that wants to push. Let's see if we can get this thing up over 3. We got it up to 282 before that pullback. Future founder, Faraday founder, Groy Royalties, completes Pedro Baker Roy, acquisition, pump, distributor, microgrid contract. IMG. go back and look at VOR. Remember VOR? VOR? You guys remember VOR, right? VOR Biopharma. It's pumping up. Took that pullback to 1250 and just went back to 1366. So it's given some push there. That's pretty nice. Well, if you'll stick with us for 15 more minutes, we definitely will give you those 9 o'clock press releases. We'd love to have you stick around. And while you're sticking around, pop over and check out one of those videos on our channel. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate that a lot. iRobot now down to $1.35. IRBT, that's the one that filed for bankruptcy this morning. Oh, hated seeing that. That was a good moneymaker. That stock really was one of those that had some nice spikes and drops and good opportunities on it for day trading. But filed bankruptcy. So let's go back and look at IMG again. You guys watch the dip on IMG? Did you take advantage of that? Thank you for hitting the like button on YouTube. I do appreciate that a bunch. And commenting. Always good to have comments. Everybody's staying warm, I hope. Hopefully the Wolfpack's staying warm. CGC trying to get over $2. Let's go back and look at CGC. CGC, Canopy Growth. Remember the pot stocks last week were pretty hot. There was a couple of them that really moved good for us. CGC trying to get over 2. We just hit 198. Mask going sideways. ECTU. ACTU. Actuate Therapeutics announces publication of positive phase 2 clinical data. Drug combined with platinum chemotherapy and sequential immunotherapy in recurrent metastatic salivary gland carcinomas. That's on ACTU. $9.5 million public float on that one. And 483,000 shares shorted with 9 days to cover. All right, let's go look at IMG again. Well, we managed to get it to 282 before it pulled back again. Would love to see this over 3. Oh, good Monday morning so far. Been very good Monday morning. Toro. Boy, IMG is really pulling back. Toro. What's the price on Toro right now? Let's take a look at Toro. Toro. Boy, it's not getting any volume, that's for sure. Let's look at the monthly chart. Well, just as a thought exercise, Hollywood, if you bought some right now, just as a thought exercise, if you bought some at bids at 515, let's say you buy some at 515 to get that dollar, what was it, $1.70? How much was the dividend on that one? Do you remember? What was it, $1.70? $1.75. Okay, $1.75. So just a little thought experiment here. You buy it at 515. Forget about the dividend. You bought it at 515. And if you hold it for a month, you're going to get $1.75 for each of those shares that you bought. You're going to get that $1.75 if you hold it for that full month. You're going to get that $1.75 whether the price goes up or goes down. So if the price drops, you're still going to get that $1.75 if you hold it for the length that you're supposed to. So just as a thought experiment, how far would the price have to drop if you bought it at 515? How much would it have to drop for you to break even? It would have to drop $1.75, right? So if you bought it at 515, it drops $1.75 by the time the dividend comes. And let's say it drops exactly $1.75. Now you get $1.75 for each share and put it back in there. You're basically even, right? You lost $1.75 on the price, but you got $1.75 on the payoff. So you're even. So just as, a what if you bought it at 515, it would have to drop $1.75 for you to be losing anything. If it drops 20 cents, it could drop 50. Let's just say it drops 50 cents. It drops from 515, it drops 50 cents between now and the time that dividend comes. You're going to get that $1.75. Well, you got to take out 50 cents because it dropped that much in terms of total profit. So you're still making $1.25 a share. So it really has to drop a lot for you just to break even. Now, if it does start to drop and you have to sell it, you're going to take the loss. Plus, you're not going to get the $1.75. So the gamble here is this. The gamble on this one is I'm going to buy it and it's got to drop from where I bought it. It has to drop $1.75 for me to just be even. But I don't think it's going to drop that far, so I think I'm okay. That's the choice in your brain right now. That's the decision you have to make. Is it going to drop more than the dividend payout? I don't see it dropping that far, but the company could put out anything today. In between now and the next 30 days, they could put out a really bad press release. Something could happen financially, legally, something could go on, and they might put out a bad press release, and that price just plummets. Things like that happen. You always have to be, it's that risk reward thing. You have to think about the risk and the reward. But, now if you bought it let's say you bought it prior to this week. Let's say you bought it last week when we were all talking about it, in the low mid upper $4 range. It would have to drop from 515 all the way down to where you bought it, and then another $1.75. So it would really, if you got it like last week sometime, or I guess it would have been the week before, it's got to drop an insane amount for you to not be ahead on it. It's really a gamble. Is it going to drop that much? And do I risk holding it for 30 days and finding out? That's the little snag in the plan. How far is it going to drop the next 30 days if I take a shot at it? And I can't answer that because I don't know. Look at iRobot. Look at perfect example. We were trading that last week and a week before. That stock's been a beauty of a trading stock over the last months and months. And then all of a sudden this morning, out of nowhere, bankruptcy. MIST filed an 8K again. We already knew about this one. Corporate presentation. And I'm not trying to scare you out of buying it at all. Not at all. There's a lot of folks that bought that last week in anticipation of that payout on that dividend. But so I mentioned this when we first heard the news on Toro about the dividend. My assumption was then, and you'll have to put on your thinking caps to remember, but I did say that I thought the price from that moment, the price was going to gradually climb up. People getting in solely to get that dividend in January. And the price would climb. But at some point, the price gets high enough that the risk reward doesn't match anymore. In other words, if I can buy a $2 stock and I'm going to get a $1.75 return on a dividend, holy crap, that's a good deal, right? You're almost getting the full value of that stock in a dividend. That's a massive deal, and people would be all over that. But if the price of the stock is $325 and they're going to get a $1.75 dividend, not as many people find that an incentive, right? I gotta pay, $320 a piece. I might only get 5 of them. I might only be able to afford to get 5. So if I get a $1.75 a piece, how much money am I going to make? If I buy it just for the dividend, $8, $12, $10, $12, it's not worth it. It all of a sudden it becomes not worth it to get into it just for the dividend. So I think it's going to climb up, but there's going to come a point where it gets as high as it's going to go because the risk reward on that dividend doesn't pan out anymore for people. And they say, I don't want to spend $10 a share to get a $1.75. It's not, because I can't get very many. It's $10. I can't get very many of them. So when I do get the dividend, I'm not really going to get much. I'm not going to really, it's not going to pay off for me very well. So they don't buy it. But I think it will continue to go up for a little bit. But I don't think we'll see a crash. If you're worried about a crash, a sudden crash on the price. I don't think we'll see that unless they put out a really, really bad press release. And that can happen. Let's see. IGC positions as a singular beneficiary of emerging federal momentum towards Schedule 3 cannabinoid medicines. Announces commercial availability. We'll wait and see if that one pops. Top deployments. IMG, Sky Law Firms, Freshworks to deepen its IT services, Hydrant AI native incident management platform, PRG, class action filed, class action, god dang it, class action lawsuit. It's a class action lawsuit. Huma, Fly, System. But if I was thinking about getting into that Toro, me personally, I would wait till the end of the day, towards the end of the day. And for no other reason than hoping the price comes down a little bit and I can get them a little bit cheaper. If I was going to buy them anyway, I would wait. Just to see if it's going to come down. But that may not fit your strategy. Your strategy may be completely different than that. Issue trial, Bowel syndrome, intestinal failure. Oh, JAGX. This isn't moving, but I'll read it to you anyway. JAGX. Jaguar Health announces abstract submission for preliminary data from the U.S. investigator-initiated trial of crofelemer in adult patients with short bowel syndrome with intestinal failure. It's not moving. There's no volume. The price isn't budging at all, but I wanted to make sure I read that off to you just in case. Let's go back and look at IMG. IMG has almost pulled back down to where it started. That interests me quite a bit. Anybody else interested in that? In IMG on that pullback? Steve, you have a great day. 134 to 181, 100% out. Good trade, averaging back in. Yeah, I'm watching this big pullback here on IMG. This is that micro float stock with a $106 million contract. And we saw how fast it moved in the first 3 minutes. Take a look on the chart in pre-market here on IMG. Look on the 1 minute time frame. This thing busted up in about 3 minutes because of that float. And FOMO and all the other stuff that goes into stocks going up. But the point is, if it gets the volume, it can really pump up quickly. So I'm watching it right now. I'm not in it right now. I'm watching it to see just how far it might drop, see if it starts to curl back up, see if we get a confirmation that it's turning the corner here to go back up. And then we'll just have to decide as it's going based on volume, RSI, all the other stuff that we look at, and determine just how long we stay in before we jump ship. If it's going to be a 15, 20 cent scalp, or if it's going to be a solid $1 scalp, which would be pretty nice. So just watching it right now, we'll see where it goes. Okay. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us on Traveling Trade Adventures. Can't wait to get on the road and go live with you on the road as well. Thank you for looking at the videos that I've got on here, the shorts. Take a look at those shorts and comment on them. Hit the like button. Appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated. Much, much appreciated. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 7:45 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on Traveling Trade Adventures. Until then, you guys take care. Have a great day. God bless.